Well, why are you driving? Well, why do you have marijuana in your vehicle and a gun in your vehicle? And you have all these children with all these different ages, range of ages, who could get that weapon and end up killing you or killing one of the siblings.
So she's fighting a multiple front war against multiple situations involving her children.
The court could find you guilty and sentence you up to life in prison. Did you understand? There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon.
Our next file is People of the State of Michigan versus Ashley Cruz. We have any victim impact statement as to count 2, the assault with a weapon.
We do not.
All right, thank you. Allocution, Mr. Harrison.
Well, again, I often search for unique adjectives to use, particularly when I've been asked to speak about several cases in a row. And I think I've already used up the word chaotic. However, I don't think there's a better word to describe what was going on there that day, as the court has already noted. Mr. Wright backed a vehicle or something happened and immediately took offense, claiming that Mr. Prosy was somehow responsible for that. And that was a whole, I can only describe it. I wish I could more accurately describe the personalities of the people involved. And I think that would just simply add another layer of almost farcical information for the court to consider in that regard, which is not to act as though that should be a mitigating factor here. Although I would say her behavior was primarily designed to protect her daughter, and the unfortunate location of the methamphetamine, notwithstanding, in the bag that she was giving the officer to take for her daughter.
It's unfortunate that the bag that had the daughter's items also had.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole, it's a comedy of errors in a number of ways, but let's get to the essence of the issue here. And the essence of the issue here is that Ashley's having a problem. She's having a problem. As noted in the report, she's had issues with substances for a while. Are they serious? Are they life? I don't know, but they're serious enough that she's now in a significant amount of trouble with regard to her status before the law. She has secured employment. I have a letter from her employer. She brought me, I don't know what I did with it. She's a manager of housekeeping at Evergreen Resort. I do know this. I've known Ashley for a number of years, and I can tell you she's employable. She's always employable. I also know that she has, again, we'll use the word, an extremely chaotic relationship with the fathers of her children. She is currently locked in a battle with the other parent of this particular child that was involved in this incident, et cetera, et cetera. So she's fighting a multiple front war against multiple situations involving her children, none of which excuses or gives the court a reason to reconsider whether or not she ought to be sanctioned for this behavior, because she should be. We know that. I'm pleased that the guidelines that are to be applied to this matter, I believe, more accurately reflect her status and her place in the continuum of her criminal history. I have that letter right here if the court's interested in reviewing it. I don't want to see her derail any of the progress that she's made. I want her to keep this job. I want her to be in the state of mind that she's going to need to be in to fight the battles she's going to have to fight on behalf of her children, some of which are in the very near future. It's one of those conundrums, Your Honor, because I know that Ashley's a good person, and I know that for the most part, well, I don't always applaud the decisions that she makes in her life. She's capable of doing so. that is not reflected when you see a report such as this one. It describes a person who, at least temporarily, was acting out of control and perhaps overreacting inappropriately to further instances of stress in her life, interaction with the troopers that day. I'm asking that the court take all of that into consideration and impose a sentence that fits within these guidelines in 0 to 17. I would like to see her on probation because I think probation will provide her with the one thing she hasn't had in her life is structure. And it'll provide some oversight. So while she's fighting these concurrent battles, there's no need for her to feel overwhelmed because she'll have resources to draw upon through the probation department that'll help her through all of that. In the long run, yeah, she has a good track record on probation as well. In the long run, that I think is the more beneficial situation, not only for Ashley Cruzy, but for society at large. Because she will continue in her employment, she will continue to be productive in that regard as well. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Carey.
I seriously question whether Ms. Prosy is supervisable. I want to start with the description of the offense. Yes, Mr. Wright did a trailer and went into the house and, confronted her about that, why the trailer was parked where it was. Her response to that was to pull out a machete and say she was going to gut him like a pig. She then left the residence. When police were there, she snuck back in, barricaded herself in a bedroom with his daughter, refused to comply with the police. Eventually, after several, I believe it was a few hours, got her out, where she continued to resist. Then she was on bond. She had 3 bond violations filed against her. She was allowed to go to treatment, which she left after 3 days. She didn't enroll in the EOP as she was told, and as of the date of the PSI, still had not yet started treatment. Those are the things that people find important. Her life is chaotic. Her children, she's got these battles over her children. I think she needs to look at her own actions in this. And if she gets that chaos under control by getting help and taking the help that's been offered to her, life might be less chaotic. I'm not sure what progress she's actually made in the short time these cases have been pending, but none of it appears, has involved getting the help or treatment that she needs. And in fact, just stopping it on her own when it's been offered and not enrolling at all. So frankly, I am going to ask, I understand what the guidelines are, but given her behavior, and then I remind the court a month after the initial case, she took meth with her into the jail. So I do question seriously her supervisability and would ask, in spite of the guidelines, for a significant jail sentence. Thank you.
And I couldn't pay the $160. So I did have it delayed for a little bit, and then I got picked up on a Traverse City and I was jailed, and then I ended up losing my job, and it was a lot. But since these last about month now, I have been full-time management, running a whole housekeeping, thing. I'm working over 40 hours a week. I'm in there every single day. I've been doing everything that I can. I go to CMH for counseling. I have a person that does it in home that is working with me. I'm also a part of the Club Cadillac, Caring Cadillac, and I go to TWS for my psyche belt.
What'd you get arrested on up in Traverse City?
Back in December, I got a driving without insurance, or I got driving without driver's license.
Oh, okay, I do see that. Mr. Stapleton, you realize that that's not included in our PSI.
Yeah, there's a lot of flaws in my PSI, Your Honor.
So that's why.
There's a lot.
Well, what are the flaws?
For one, I'm being shorted out on a 7411 deal, and then hold on a second.
But you 7411 was dismissed.
Yeah, but there it says 10 points that I have a current felony conviction. I have no felony conviction. I have nothing on there.
Concurrent felony.
That's a concurrent felony, means you got two going on at the same time. That's PRV 10. Yes. So you don't have any scorings for PRV 1 or 2. So that's not wrong. You have scorings for PRV 10 because you have two files here. And one has 2 felonies. That's why you score for PRV 10. So you're not misscored there. But what I'm telling you here is also, what is missing is you got picked up on something new. Templeton, so you're probably gonna need to figure that one out. Got it? So she's got another conviction out there that we don't even know about. That'd be scoreable. But that means she got picked up on other charges. So, all right. Anything else, Ms. Truzy?
If possible, I would like a hearing, to go over my OB scoring and stuff like that.
On what? So you've got, I've changed the scoring for OB1 and OB2. What's different for, and that's on count 1. And so you only score 19. That's for, actually, what is that scored for?
So resisting arrest in effect.
Well, but that's for the possession of meth. Mr. Harrison, is the defense asking me to set this for a hearing?
I don't believe a hearing will be necessary.
Okay. All right, all right. Anything else, Ms. Truzy?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, count 2, the court does not need to find reasonable ground. And we had a violation on bond. And the only reason I released you was to see if you'd get in trouble again, but you didn't. That's good. What I don't hear is that you went to community corrections and asked for help to make sure that you did what I told you to do. You didn't do that. So you violated your bond by using, and you violated your bond by not following the court's orders. You've been using marijuana since you were 10, and you've been using methamphetamine since you were about 13. You fried your brain, and you're probably, I don't know what you're going to do to get over this. So, and I'll tell you, one of the things that stands out to me here is that you had 16.5 grams of methamphetamine in the bag that you used for your child. You've lost multiple other children. Maybe you're not picking up the pattern, but you are a danger to your children. You've lost your other kids and you can't seem to stop doing that. And let's look at this. You brought out the machete and said, I'm going to cut him like a pig. And then you were resisting the police officers. It took 3 officers to get you under control. And there had been some kind of standoff that lasted a period of time. All right, here's how this works, okay? Here's how this works. Pay attention. When I give you all an opportunity to speak, that's called due process. And then when I ask, do you have anything else? You say you're done, then you're done. And then it's my turn to speak. And you don't talk when I talk. I didn't talk when you were talking. I didn't look over to the clerks and say, hey, what did you hear what you just said? That doesn't make any sense. So you're a danger to your kids. I'm not going to let the kids be the sympathy here because you've lost other children and you've got one and you're still got, isn't that what I heard here? Hold on. All right. Well, the point here is I'm worried about your kids, and the fact that you're fighting for them is great. Not going to change me. It doesn't give me any sympathy at all. I'm not worried about your job today or tomorrow or next week. I'm not worried about whether or not you lose your children for a couple of weeks or a year or a month or whatever it is. I'm worried about 10 years from now. I'm worried about 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Because you so far put yourself on the path of self-destruction. And while you might be on bond, you might go and get a job and be able to hold it down for a while. I do not let that necessarily swing my sentence. I don't know if what you're going to do next month. And I'll tell you, the legislature says in some instances, if you violate bond, I can only give you 15 days. Doesn't make sense to me sometimes, but that's okay. But they also say that the judge has discretion and the judge can find reasonable grounds. This scene here was chaotic. Was the daughter there? It looks like the daughter was there.
She was dropped off, I believe, while the defendant was running out in the woods and came back. And then barricaded herself in with the daughter.
So here's the sentence of the court. And again, you do have some prior criminal history. It's counted on here, referenced on here. You've had the job at Evergreen for 14 days, for 2 weeks. And before that, you held a job for about 5 years, maybe. That's it. You don't seem to follow the rules, and you're a threat and violent threat to people and your children, and you don't seem to learn. And that's my problem. The court sentenced the defendant to a period of 36 months of probation. So now we turn to this possession of methamphetamine. The court looks at the guideline range 0 to 17. That's an intermediate sanction cell, but the defendant has not complied with the court's bond conditions, and the court is also concerned based upon the amount of the methamphetamine that was found. And there, the court sentences the defendant to 180 days, and the defendant receives 23 days of credit. As to the assault resist destructive police officer, this is an example why police officers have a very difficult job, and her violence and her attitude continued while they were there, and it took a lot for them to get her calmed down. The court sentenced the defendant to 180 days with 23 days in jail.
So does this require the maximum?
Oh, because she's got no prior felony?
Yes.
Yes, you're right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So it's 180 to 100 days to 120 months. It is 180 days to 24 months for counts 2. All right. Thank you very much. We are adjourned.
769, State versus Apolinar Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced?
Duffy Pitlock for the state of Texas, Your Honor.
Attorney Bill Simmons for defense.
And are you Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there applications in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, probation, this is an application. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Apolinar, did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor, we are.
Mr. Rodriguez, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with an unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. All right, proceeding with sentencing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We would just pray that the court follow the plea agreement as negotiated with the state.
All right. All right, do you understand you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so in the police report, not only do you tell them that the weapon is yours, you want to make sure your name is down so that you can collect that weapon. You're not getting that weapon back. You understand? All right, are you employed?
No, ma'am.
When's the last time you had employment?
Before I got arrested, I was working for a moving company, Lumpy.
Mm-hmm. Doing what?
Movies. Movie.
Oh, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And how long were you? Oh, and state, you may be excused. How long were you employed at that?
I was working for like 3 years with it was my aunt, but she had like her own company. But then I started working Lumpy, like by myself. like where we get on Facebook and they will need people to pull up at a job and do the job.
Okay.
And that's what I was doing. But now I'm thinking about getting another job that I'm already like looking into.
All right. Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
4 months and 1.5 years.
And do they live with you?
Yes, ma'am. I have 5 step kids.
So what's that total number?
7.
7?
Yes,
And 7 live with you?
yes.
Okay. How far did you go in school?
To 10th grade.
Why did you drop out?
It's a lot of nonsense.
All right. So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
I want to get my GED, get a good job, or a job for now, and then work my way to a better job.
All right. How often had you been using?
For a couple years.
All right. So here's the thing. When you have young children, you cannot use marijuana. You cannot have these people that you were with around your children. You're supposed to be setting examples for them. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you've had a rocky start to begin with because you're a felon. So that means you have a past, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's not good. And now you're a felon in possession of a weapon. So you're going to have to change your ways. Otherwise, you're going to end up at the prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, who is Raymond Rene Perez to you?
He was a friend.
He was what?
He was my friend.
Okay. And who is Ivani Marlene Velasco Viramontes?
That's my wife.
That's your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So where were the children while you were all out driving around?
We were not driving. We were working at the smoke shop where they went. We were at work.
Mhm. Well, why are you driving? Well, why do you have marijuana in your vehicle and a gun in your vehicle? And you have all these children with all these different ages, range of ages, who could get that weapon and end up killing you or killing one of the siblings. Now, if your house were searched today, are there going to be guns there? All right, because I require field visits, and so probation is going to do field visits at your home. And you had better make sure everything is that it should be. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
you say that?
He didn't have anything, Judge. She's
No.
just listening to you.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. There's going to be 6 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, take in consideration NIMAC number 744030, restitution of $60 to Bear County Laboratory for testing in NIMAC number 744030. There's to be a judgment satisfied in 2025 CC 009013. There's to be no contact with Raymond Rene Perez. There's to be a TAP evaluation out of custody. You need to make sure you make that appointment. If you do not, a warrant's going to be issued for your arrest and a motion to revoke will be filed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be field visits 1 time per month until further notice. There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. 100 of those hours will be deducted once parenting classes are completed. The remaining 100 hours will be deducted if he obtains his GED or some type of trade school. And there's going to be 30 sober meetings in 30 days. And there's to be proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors, and no employment at vape shops or smoke shops. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And there's to be no contact with Christian Rivas, Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You have a lot of children. Doesn't matter, stepchildren, biological children, you've taken on the responsibility to be the father to all children. You understand?
Mhm.
So you're going to have to get your life together because the 3-month-old can't take care of themselves, right? And the other children can't take care of themselves. You can't send them to Travis Park and say, good luck to you, because they can't get employment. They're dependent on you, and the decisions you make, you're making for them. So when you decide to ride around in a vehicle with a gun, you're bringing them along for the ride. When you're using marijuana, you're bringing them along to use marijuana. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And your young children, when you come into the house, if you're smelling like marijuana, that's impacting their health. Your children are still developing physically and mentally, and do you want them to have the best start they could possibly have? Do you want them to ever have any trouble and be involved in criminal activity? So you're the person that they're looking up to. And if they see you doing this, they're going to think it's okay to do it. You understand?
Sure.
And if your wife doesn't want to get with the program and stop using, then you're going to have to choose your children over her. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Probation is going to be coming out to your house every month. When they come out, you need to let them in. You understand? If there is something that you feel you need that probation is not providing, you can always come back to the court and we'll see what we can do. All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And also, Your Honor, we can always come back and revert to address that other issue we talked about, so it's in terms of the length, okay? Yes, we'll put on the record, yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank
Be
you.
excused, Your Honor.
Yes. How do you pronounce your last name?
Kawazoe?
Kawazoe. All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 006945B State versus Jacob Kawazoe. Could I have parties announced?
Jason Garahan for the state, Your Honor.
And Eric DeWalt, I represent Mr. Kawazoe.
And are you Mr. Kawazoe?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any applications in this case?
There are not, Your Honor.
You're charged with murder. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kawazoe, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 20 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration 2024 CC 007178, 2024 CR 006961. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State Exhibit number 1 with office attachments.
We've had an opportunity to go over that. No judgments.
All right, did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in, the right to remain silent?
Repeat the question.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine any witnesses the state will call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. I was going to ask, because I always look at plea bargain agreements to see if offers are appropriate in specific cases or offers that I will accept. So I've read the police report and I understand the issues that are presented for the state and for the defense, both good and bad. So after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Please, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, my client is just asking that he hopes you will follow this plea agreement worked on by the state. It's been long and drawn out. My client has been cooperative with me the whole way through, and he understands what he signed to.
All right. Court will find you guilty as previously stated, sentence you to 20 years in the prison. Credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Taking consideration 2024 CC 007178 and 2024 CR 006961. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Judge, just if for purposes of victim impact, we're asking for him to be on hold to send to TDC, at least come back to court on Tuesday of this coming week, which I believe is July 28th.
Yes. No. July 28th is a Monday.
July 29th.
July 29th?
Yes, Your Honor.
So Norma, make sure there's a hold on him. And it'll be recalled July 29th. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Any time that you do in prison or in custody, that's a lot of time. But you need to figure out how you ended up in this situation and change your life. Otherwise, what's going to end up happening, you're going to spend the rest of your life in somebody's prison and things will not go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is what I mean when I tell people involved in drug transactions or using drugs, only one or two things are going to end up happening. Either you're going to end up spending the rest of your life in prison, or either somebody's going to end up dead, either from using drugs or selling drugs, and somebody's going to have to identify the body. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 5615, State of Texas versus Cameron Sell. You're charged with aggravated assault against a public servant in count 1. That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to life in prison? Did you understand? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe it does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do believe that, Your Honor.
Mr. Sale, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Sure.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on count 1. There's $1,000 fine. affirmative finding of deadly weapon, and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. And just my understanding is that if he was to get deferred adjudication, the deadly weapon finding would be deferred as well.
Yeah.
In order to receive the deferred adjudication.
I mean, there's still going to be a finding, an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon, but he'll get the deferred adjudication if I follow the plea.
Okay.
All right. All right. State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand that to be the plea? All right. And I see there's a case number that's been marked through. Has that case already been taken care of?
It will be judged, but it's not part of the plea agreement.
Okay. All right. Showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Sure.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor. Well, there was a motion to set aside the indictment, but just one, I guess.
All right. And are you waiving that motion?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 10 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, the MRT, and defensive driving. Did you understand that those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense is charged in count one. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
Yes, Judge. State out for State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection.
Mr. Sale, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding the guilt if you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We're fine proceeding with sentencing, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I'd just like to offer defendants exhibits 1 through 6, and I've showed them to the state.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
And Judge, what those are, number 1 is an apology letter to the police officers. Exhibits 2 through 5 are various psychiatric, psychological, and counseling records indicating some of his various mental health issues that he's been dealing with in his young adult life. He's been diagnosed with anxiety, depression, ADD, ADHD, opposition and defiance disorder. He hasn't been diagnosed with autism, but it hasn't been ruled out. And some of the psychiatrists believe that he needs further testing to see if that's something that he is dealing with, Judge. He's a young man. I believe you're 19, 18. He's had no violations on his pretrial monitor, Judge. He's never been arrested before. He finished his high school diploma. That's Defendant's Exhibit 6 that you have. And we would ask that you follow the plea bargain agreement.
All right. So are you working? What are you doing with your life right now?
At the moment, I kind of made it hard on myself with this. I kind of told myself, hey, since you got this, it's kind of hard to get a job. So while being on this, I really haven't put too much time in trying to do that because I've been so stressed and talking myself down, I guess.
You need to get a job.
Yes. So I actually have a buddy who just got offered a job recently, and he's going to see if they can get me up in there as well.
Doing what?
Just working at a gas station now.
Okay. All right. I don't understand the request for defensive driving.
Because of the facts of the case, Judge.
But I'm sort of like, if somebody's...
I think this may resolve the issue, Judge. He did complete a defensive driving course recently. And so I would ask that he just get credit for that if he shows probation, the certificate.
All right. 10 years deferred adjudication, defensive driving. There's $1,000 fine that will be probated. Do you have any children? Right. Anger management.
Oh,
No, I mean, I'm assigning anger management
okay. You're
courses.
asking questions, sorry, Judge.
And that's based upon the exhibits that's been presented to the court. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon, 200 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. The remaining hours will be waived if you enroll in some higher level of education. If it's college, I will tell you, are required to be full-time. So if you plan on enrolling to college, the court will not waive the remaining of the community service hours unless you are taking at least 9 hours per semester, or if you are in a trade school and obtain a certificate. There's to be regular reporting, regular UAs. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? What are you going to be positive for? And what else? All right. Marijuana is not allowed. You understand? We're going to do the testing for levels, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. They want you to do the MRT. The MRT course is telling you that you need to consider others in your action. It's something that people should have learned in kindergarten or preschool. Be nice to everybody. Treat others as you would want to be treated. But you're going to take the course. I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month. Who do you live with?
Mother.
All right.
And fathers.
So here's the thing. You're either going to have a job while you live with your mom, or either you're going to be in school. I don't allow people who are adults to live at home unless they're working, or either they're in school at your age. You understand? All right. Probation, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, good luck. Attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor, if it please the court.
All right. So all of this was over somebody owing somebody $50?
Sort of, Your Honor, yes.
And then you're getting involved?
Correct, Your Honor. My client accepts responsibility for making a very bad judgment that day and
Yes.
making a bad decision.
Because here's the thing that people don't understand. One, do people think people should be hitting on females? No. But as a female, you can't hit somebody and then think they're not going to hit you back. And I read the police report. So the officer is attempting to stop a fight. And then everybody else wants to get involved. You want to get involved because you're like his brother. You're saying that that's my brother who's in the fight, right? And then you're going to punch the officer, and then the officer is getting you under control. And according to this, you're still punching and kicking on him. And then somebody's like, no, don't do it. She's pregnant. Well, guess what? When people are pregnant, they should not be getting involved in altercations.
You understand?
Yes.
So how far along are you in your pregnancy?
8 months.
Do you have any other children? Are you employed? So how old are you?
20.
How are you supporting yourself? Like, how do you make money to eat?
I have a boyfriend that supports me.
Are you living with him?
He lives with me. I have my own apartment.
Well, how are you paying for your apartment?
It's already paid for a year through housing.
All right. So this is what I know about housing, because I used to do CPS cases. If you're on housing, your boyfriend's not supposed to be living with you. And honestly, your boyfriend's not supporting you. You know who's supporting you? Everybody in here who has a job and pays taxes. I'm supporting you. Your attorney's supporting you. All the attorneys who are in here supporting you. Anybody in the gallery who has a job is supporting you. So your boyfriend is not supporting you. And what I'm going to tell you right now, if your boyfriend is living with you and you're on housing, guess what? If the government finds out about it, which usually they do, you're going to end up having charges because they're going to want their money back. And this is the way the government works. The government doesn't tell you they know your boyfriend is living with you. They don't tell you they know that you're getting food stamps and you shouldn't get them. You know what they do? They wait till it's a felony. And then once it's a felony, then they bring charges. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
I got a high school diploma.
And what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
Getting myself together.
How?
I get a job.
And what type of job are you looking for?
Restaurant.
All right. See, here's the thing. You've decided and you made the decision to have a child with this boyfriend who can't even support himself. How old is he?
He's 22.
All right. He's 22. He can't even support himself. Y'all are both living off the government. Are you receiving food stamps? Yeah. Y'all are living off the government and you're about to bring a child into this world. And now the child is going to have one of their parents. I don't know about his criminal history, but the child is going to have one of their parents who's already on probation for a felony, and a parent who fights officers in an alley who's pregnant and not even at this point thinking about them. Because if you were thinking about your unborn child, you wouldn't have been fighting with an officer in an alley and you wouldn't have been in an alley. You understand? And if you are not careful, Child Protective Services is going to be involved in your life. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
And do you know if your boyfriend has any criminal history?
No.
Do you know or do you not know?
I don't know.
So why are you with him if you don't know if he has criminal history? Do you know how far he went to school? You're the boy explain something to you. She is on government housing. You shouldn't be living with her because the taxpayers don't want to pay for you to live with her. You need to get your own house. If she's carrying your child, which you say she is, you need to be financially able to support your child, which means you're not living off the government on her housing that's been paid up for a year that we, the taxpayers, are paid for. If people want to go out and have children, guess what? I'm not supposed to be the person supporting your child. Y'all supposed to support your child because I didn't agree to have a child with him. I didn't agree for you to have a child. Now, if you want the taxpayers to support your child, then what you need to do is, and I see mom holding him down, keeping him calm. You know what? If people want to play stupid games, you're going to get stupid prizes. And it's going to result in this deputy removing you from this courtroom. So if you want the government and the taxpayers to pay for you to have a child, you know what you need to do? Before y'all decide to live together and have a child, you need to come to a panel of citizens and say, I would like for you to pay for my housing. I would like for you to pay for my child. Will you agree for me to have a child? Not doing that. Y'all are just doing whatever you want to do, and somebody else is taking care of your child. And when your child is born, if that's your mom, guess what? That grandmother is going to end up taking care of the child more than you. You understand? That's yes or no?
Yes.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. We'll do 200 hours of community service. Vashawn, if she gets a degree, if she gets into trade school, then those hours will be waived. I'm going to order parenting classes. If she completes parenting classes, then those hours will be waived. It's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And I'm going to want anger management classes, proof of employment within 90 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
From here on out, we can go off the record. From here on out, everything you do in this world while you're still under this contract with the court, any decision you make, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could potentially result in me going to prison for 20 years? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. And let me explain to you, I take no joy in sending people to prison, but if I feel they deserve to go to prison, I'm not going to be worried about the fact that you have a newborn baby, that you're breastfeeding or whatever. If it comes up that you need to go to prison, you're going to prison and somebody else will be raising your child. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're going to have to make better decisions. Good luck to you.